All right, so I just made a deal earlier this morning with a guy to sell him the submersible trash pumps that I had bought at an auction. It's been a little while back now, maybe 2 months or so ago, but there they are.
At the end of this video, I show you all my numbers, exactly what I paid for all these pumps, what my expenses were, and what my profit is after everything was said and done. And if you like seeing this kind of content, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I'll continue trying to make videos of what I do every day.
I paid next to nothing for them. This is all but one of them are on this trailer here, and that entire lot of those, I paid roughly $250. I paid $35 for one and $30 for another, and this one really big one right here, this guy here was the most I paid anything for, and I think I paid $140 for that one. I listed the really big one on eBay and locally on Marketplace, and then I listed one of these size, this one here particularly right there, that one, listed it on eBay as well. Found a guy in Houston contact me and said that he's seen a picture where all of these were listed or laying out there in the picture. I did that on purpose so people would know that I had other sizes and more of them for sale than just the one I had on eBay. And he said, hey, how much for all of those of that particular size? And I gave him a price of $2,000 each for each one of those. And he got back, he said, okay, that sounds good, let's do it. So he bought the one on eBay, then we were able to communicate, and when we've made a deal now, not only does he want those four, but he also wants these two smaller ones, and he's maybe going to take this one big one here. And then he's gonna pay me to take them out. So I just loaded these up just not even an hour ago. Sorry, I didn't have my camera. I didn't get to see me loading them. I had to use a forklift. These things are super heavy. These big ones right here are somewhere around 500 to 600 pounds a piece. This guy here is like close to 2,000 pounds. It's a monster. And it's one reason why I got them so cheap from that auction. A lot of times people don't want to deal with stuff that's just too big, too bulky. They don't have any means to do it. So it does take a particular person to be able to buy those type of items, and I have the ability, so I did it. And I just did it as a gamble, not knowing if I'd be able to get to sell them or not. I seen how much they were worth when I bought them, but you never know, right? So it's been 2 months and nothing at all. I want one little interest here or there. And now it looks like I'm likely going to make around $10,000 on these. So, you know, we'll see by the time I get there and he decides which ones he wants. And he said, even if he doesn't take this big one, he said he would test it out for me. So now I can relist it as being tested and working in good condition. And that totally changes its price. Even if he doesn't want it, I can potentially sell that big one as tested and working for like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 all by itself for just that one. So anyways, it's going to turn into a good deal. Plus, he's paying me to take them to him in Houston. So just loaded them up. I'm actually leaving today. I'm going to go inside and shower, get my bag packed, and I'm hitting the road. It's roughly a 15-hour drive from where I live in southern Arizona to Houston, Texas. So I'm planning to be there by middle of the day tomorrow. And so we can make our deal, and then I'm going to turn around and head back home. All right, so I did about 6 hours of driving. I'm in kind of western Texas, Van Horn, Texas. Tonight I'm gonna just sleep in my truck at a truck stop. So 6 hours from home. I got going late. It's like 11 p.m. here. I'm gonna get up early in the morning and head out. I'm gonna get up at like 4:30. I'm gonna be on the road at 5. I still got like 9.5, 10 hours left to go. It's about 15 hours-ish total driving time plus stops for gas and whatnot. So I'm staying in the truck tonight because I'm only gonna sleep like, 4, 5 hours. I'm gonna run inside and go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, do that stuff in the truck stop. But if none of you have ever seen, you may have pulled into a truck stop before and seen all the semi trucks here, but so I used to do this full time back 2016, 2017. I actually transported full time as a job, and I stayed in places like this. You can see all these trucks lined up here. You basically just pull in here and you back into a place. My little tiny truck looks weird, right? But yeah, this was my life, and I slept in my truck every night except for You know, 1 or 2 nights I'd stay in a hotel, or I'd make it back home a couple nights out of the month. But it's a really hard life doing this kind of transport stuff. But it's okay doing this, a quick trip. It's gonna take me, you know, it's a 15-hour drive out to Houston from southern Arizona. Be there a few hours. I'll go ahead and get a hotel room tomorrow night and get a good night's rest, and then I'll start hitting the road back. And so I'll be home really late Saturday night. And if I get tired, I'll sleep over and get back home Sunday. But anyways, staying here for tonight, and tomorrow I'll be on the way, can finish up. I'll be in Houston by, I'll say 3 o'clock or so tomorrow. So, all right, so got up at 4:15, did not sleep great, by no means. It's hard sleeping in your driver's seat, just kind of recline back. You know, when I used to do this full time, I had a bed back there, you know, behind my seat in the extended cab, and slept a lot better during those days. But anyways, I only slept for, maybe about 5 hours, 4.5 hours, but I do a walk around now and make sure all my lights and stuff are looking good, make sure my tires are good. Just give them a little kick to make sure they feel hard. Not really checking the pressure, but make sure we got flashers, tail lights. Before I go hit the road. The sun's gonna be coming up soon, but still I need to do the walk around here. And got my parking lights on, but my headlights. Let's see here. And yep, got 2 headlights. All right. Well, it's time to go hit the road and get out of here. So leave this truck stop. I'm gonna go over to the other truck stop across the road, get gas over there. It's a Love's, and I have a discount card over there. So
I ended up getting here right about 3 o'clock, and me and this guy here, we got all these pumps unloaded and set up, and he's running tests to them all right now to see if they're all good and working. So the owner shows up here in just a little bit and makes me an offer.
all right, so it's Saturday morning. I made it up here yesterday, Friday, probably about 3 o'clock, local Houston time. And we got all the pumps unloaded there at that shop. And the owner wasn't there yet, but he had one of his guys there to pull them all off. They tested all of them. I brought up the one that he had bought on eBay from me. He had already purchased that one. He purchased 2 more of the large ones and 2 of the small ones. I'm taking back home the one huge one. It's a 60 horse. And so he ended up paying me another $5,000 for those additional 4 units. And then he did test that big one for me. He actually was able to confirm that it had never been used. It's been just sitting in a shop somewhere. So it's new, but it's just old stock, we'll call it. It's not a type he can use here. It's meant for pumping like really long ways, really high up. Like in Arizona, we have lots of mountains and whatnot. So he said, yeah, this thing's meant to be pumping crap like 150, 200 feet high. Houston, they don't have to pump that high. So he's like, I can't use it. But he did give me a lot of information, told me that that unit is probably worth easily $8,000. So he said, yeah, just keep it out there on eBay. Eventually you'll find somebody who'll want it. So that was great. He gave me a lot of good info, even though he didn't buy that one. So went over, found a hotel. Everything here in Houston on this east side was pretty much booked up, except for the pretty expensive places. So got a room, and I just was tired, wanted to get some good night's rest, or as best I could. It's 2 a.m. now, Saturday morning. I'm going to go ahead and hit the road. I got 15 hours of driving to get back to Arizona. So I didn't want to spend a ton. I've traveled a lot throughout my life, and I'm like, yeah, I can stay in, not the best of hotel rooms. They're usually just fine, Typically, they're super clean, or at least fairly enough. I got in the habit of wearing flip-flops around in hotel rooms anyways, but I do have to share, this is probably the worst hotel room I've ever been in my entire life. It is really bad. Let me take you around and show you. This kind of blows me away how bad this actually is. All right, so I mean, the bed and stuff was clean. You know, I checked it out real good. I'm like, okay, I can deal with as long as there was nothing obvious here. Like, okay, that's cool. But this is, I'm sure you can probably see this floor. Not to mention, okay, it's old. It needs to have some refurb, no doubt. It's actually not very clean even. There's junk in the wall. There's, they fixed some stuff. Okay, that's all right. I don't know what that is smeared on the wall right there. That's kind of iffy. And the bathroom. So I did take a shower because, man, I'm in Houston and it was hot and humid, but it was hard to make the curtain even stay up because this thing is just janky. I wore my flip-flops even taking a shower. I didn't want to put my bare feet on this because it's bad. It is so bad. I mean, oh my gosh. If my wife had been with me, as soon as I seen the place, I'm like, oh, this is probably not going to be the best of place. Oh, look, it's got a nice modern sink. And the toilet was clean, but yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad. So anyways, again, my wife wasn't with me, so, I just noticed all that. Oh, that might be black mold. Oh, shoot. All right, that's nice. So, yeah. If my wife had been with me, she would have been, no, we're leaving. Go get our money back. We're not staying here. I don't care if we get our money back. So you might be saying, hey, that's what you get for staying in a $29 room, right? No, this was, I think I paid like 88 bucks. So, which is, it's not a ton of money, but still, I've stayed in a lot of $80 rooms and they're fine. They're nice. But I don't know what the deal is here. This is, oh, and then you should see the parking lot. Maybe I'll record out there. They maybe are in the middle of remodeling, I will call it that. There is junk everywhere out there. There's piles of beds out in the back. I have my trailer on, so I had to find a spot where I could park and, kind of pull around. And I'm like, I can't go back there. There's like 8 or 10 beds piled up on the ground in the parking lot and old furniture and stuff. It looks like it's been there for months too. Not like they just pulled it out last week. But anyways, I had to do a little travel vlog here to show everybody.
So here's the auction invoice for all these pumps. You see they're Fly GT, submersible, wastewater, motor, but they're all these pumps. So there was, I sold this one to the guy in Houston. This one here was actually, he didn't want it. It had appeared that this one had been taken apart and put back together, so it probably wasn't working. So I didn't even take this one to him. He didn't buy it. I can probably just sell this one for scrap because it's like 400 or 500 pounds. The motor's in it, probably weighs 150 pounds. I can get my 45 bucks back just in scrapping it if I want to, but we're not counting this one right now. So I sold him this one and this unit and this one and this one and this one. This one here was that one really large unit that weighed, I don't know, close to 2,000 pounds. This one here, you see, this is the price I actually bid. This was the fee they charge at the auction. This was sales tax. So this was the total price. Anyway, if you add up all the ones that I sold to him, these come out to be $259. I sold him the 5 pumps for $7,000, but one of those was via eBay and there were some eBay fees taken out of it. The cost of the pumps was $259. My travel expenses was $580 as fuel and a room, some food. Total profit, $5,889. Pretty good for such a small investment, but it did require having a trailer, and this did take me close to 2 months before I actually sold these. But remember, I do also have that one really large pump still in my possession, and I have it listed for sale on eBay right now for $8,000. And the guy that I sold these other pumps to looked this up. He said this is a $65,000 pump, brand new. So maybe eventually I'll find a buyer for it.